In the 1980s, movie studios took chances. They made interesting movies, and filmmakers weren't afraid to fail. So today, I'm talking about 5 really cool 80s movies you should absolutely watch. Not the obvious classics, but films that were ahead of their time, and I'll tell you why they matter. Let's start with Looker from 1981. This movie doesn't just predict AI actors, it predicts AI advertising, decades before it actually became real. The film was written and directed by Michael Crichton, the dude behind Westworld, Jurassic Park, and ER. Crichton had a habit of looking at new technology and asking, okay, how does this go wrong? In Looker, advertisers are able to scan real people and create perfect versions that can endlessly be reused.
Hi, I'm Cindy. I'm the perfect female type, 18 to 25. I'm here to self-read.
Commercials made with no humans. That is exactly the concern actors are fighting over right now. But in Looker, the actresses and models that are being scanned are then mysteriously being murdered. The film stars Albert Finney and Susan Dey. This was post-Partridge Family, pre-LA Law. I remember this movie played on HBO from 1982 to 85 on an endless loop, 24/7. Hearing Albert Finney say, Looker Lab, is singed in my mind forever.
I want to get in the Looker Lab.
The movie also takes a very cynical view of advertising, which again feels very modern. This wasn't a sci-fi movie about aliens or lasers. It was about corporations, and that's why it still works. Next up, Amazon Women on the Moon. This film is like a time capsule of 1980s comedy culture.
You see, due to a slight clerical error, your son has been temporarily misplaced.
You lost our son?
Did I say lost? I said misplaced.
It's not one director, one voice, or one style. It's like a collective of sketches directed by a bunch of different filmmakers, many of whom came out of TV comedy like SNL and SCTV. One of the key forces behind it was John Landis, who also directed Animal House and Blues Brothers and Kentucky Fried Movie. And you can feel that DNA all over this movie.
Did you know that every 7 minutes a black person is born in this country without soul?
What makes Amazon Women on the Moon special is all the parody commercials and fake trailers. You need to remember, this was pre-internet, so you didn't see that kind of stuff very often. So it felt novel. The cast is absolutely insane, like Michelle Pfeiffer, Arsenio Hall, Rosanna Arquette, tons of famous faces. There's a sketch about a widow hosting a roast at her husband's funeral, and that's probably the best one.
And there's not a person in this room that Harvey Pitnick did not touch. I must say, he touched me for $40 and Steve for 20.
Listen, the movie didn't aim for perfection, it aimed for volume. But for the most part, it landed some decent laughs. Let's talk about The Hidden from 1987. This movie is clever because it hides the sci-fi premise inside of a cop movie. On the surface, it's a gritty 80s police thriller, but underneath is an alien movie. The alien in The Hidden doesn't talk much because it's actually a parasite that crawls into the mouths of humans, and once it's inside, it takes control over their bodies. It loves fast cars, loud music, violence, and chaos. It's very different from typical sci-fi villains.
Why would he come in here and kill a guy for a lousy $100 and a radio?
Because he likes it. He sees something he wants, he steals it. Something gets in his way, he kills it. And right now, he's hiding out in your city.
Casting Kyle MacLachlan was a masterstroke. This was just a little bit before Twin Peaks, and you could already see his ability to play a special agent who looks like a regular dude but feels off.
I want to ask you, am I crazy? Or does this seem just a little bizarre?
Yeah, it's a little bizarre.
I knew that. I just wanted to know if you knew that.
I think this film influenced a lot of body-hopping concepts in movies and TV, but it never got the credit it deserved. The Lonely Guy is one of the strangest comedies in Steve Martin's career, and that's exactly why it's worth revisiting. That said, if you've never seen The Jerk, You definitely need to see that first. The Lonely Guy is actually based on a book by Bruce J. Friedman, who wrote many successful screenplays, including Stir Crazy and Splash. It's interesting because this movie came out when Steve Martin could have done anything. Broad comedy, slapstick, crowd pleasers. Instead, he chose a sad character who is kind of socially awkward with women. Definitely a weird choice, but Charles Grodin, as usual, steals scenes by doing almost nothing. His performance is minimal, dry, and so Charles Grodin.
You know the guys who always keep their hair are the guys who have no use for it at all. They're not trying to impress anybody.
Who's that?
Like bums. You ever seen a bald bum? They always have a beautiful head of hair.
Why is that?
I think it's because they never wash it. It's the only time you ever see your hair fall out is after you take your shower and you wash your hair and there's a bunch of hair laying there.
I mean, if I'd never washed my hair, I'd have a full head of hair?
Of course, they could lose their hair too, and maybe it just stays in.
Just locked in there. If they ever wash it, they could be bald bums.
Yeah.
What makes The Lonely Guy interesting is how it was one of the first sad comedies where humor comes from truth rather than punchlines. It's about loneliness in public spaces, loneliness in the office, loneliness in big cities. Stuff that feels really relevant now. This movie was not a big moneymaker at all. And I think it didn't fail because it was bad. It struggled because audiences didn't quite know what to do with it. And finally, Cobra. Crime is a disease. Meet the cure. This movie's important because it represents peak 80s action philosophy. Minimal backstory, maximum attitude.
I don't want to talk to you. Now you bring in the television cameras in here now. Come on, bring it in.
Can't do that.
Why?
I don't deal with psychos. I put them away.
I ain't no psycho, man. I'm a hero of the new world.
You're a disease, and I'm the cure.
Die!
Cobra was loosely based on a novel called Fair Game by Paula Gosling. Now, interestingly, they remade it again in 1995 with Cindy Crawford. Now, rumor has it that Stallone took a lot of heat for Rambo First Blood Part 2 being so violent. So he doubled down with Cobra. Kinda like, oh, you thought that was bad? How about this? Now, the car in this movie deserves special mention. It was a customized 1950 Mercury Monterey Coupe. Very aggressive looking, a thing of beauty. Now, when you think about 80s aesthetic, harsh lighting, industrial settings, synth-heavy music, this movie actually set the tone for a bunch of action flicks that followed. It wasn't a movie trying to be realistic. It was a movie trying to be iconic. And it succeeds.
This is where the law stops, and I start.
So if you're looking for movies with personality, not just content, these 5 movies are worth your time. The 80s weren't perfect, but they trusted filmmakers, and sometimes that's all it takes. Listen, if you've seen these, let me know which one surprised you. And if you've got another deep cut, let me know. Natural